Well, speaking of a game, man, I hate to even do this. You know, I really hate the saying throw the records out, so I'm not going to necessarily say that. But this Iron Bowl, Shane, was looking like it could be an all-timer. But obviously Auburn's kind of torpedoed here the last couple of weeks, dropped 3 tough games. Now there are even some fans wondering if Bryan Harsin should be fired after 1 year. I certainly wouldn't go that far, but we got Alabama coming into Jordan-Hare Stadium. It's a very tough place to play. And, you know, the beauty of college football, Shane, 1 week we could hate the coach. He's garbage. Fire him. Send him back to Boise. He pulls off a stunning upset. There's going to be fans saying, you know, maybe we give this guy an extension. You know what I mean? So, like, all this goodwill. And last time I checked, you know, I'm not trying to discredit Arkansas. I'm not trying to discredit Tennessee, LSU. But last time I checked, Shane, the last few SEC games Alabama played in, I mean, they are barely getting by. So I'm not buying into the narrative that they're just going to go on the road and beat the hell out of Auburn. What do you think about that?
Well, it's a good narrative, Mike, because let's face it, when these two teams play, typically it's a close game.
Right.
I mean, even like you said, you throw the records out and stuff like that. Is this game going to be played at a neutral field?
No, sir.
Hell no, it's not going to be played at a neutral field, Mike. And that's why you can't count the Auburn Tigers out, because there's been some damn upsets pulled off in that stadium. As soon as you count them out, man, you're gonna find yourselves in a ball game. These two teams hate each other. These fan bases hate each other, Mike. I saw somebody the other day had an Auburn hat. I started talking to him for a little bit. You know, he didn't even want to really talk about the South Carolina game. He says he goes, I don't care. We can lose every game long as we win next week. You know, that's the mentality that these fans have. That's the mentality these players are gonna have. All of it's out, man. All of it's on the table. Auburn has nothing to lose. Alabama's the only team that has anything to lose. I think if they lose this game, yes, they get an SEC championship, but there's no way if they lose to Georgia that they make it to a national championship. You know what I'm saying? Right. Nobody has anything to lose on that side of the ball with the Auburn Tigers. So I think that's the key, and that's the deadly part. And hell, who knows? This may be Brian's last game, man. You know what I'm saying? So there's no telling what he's going to put out there on the field. So that's what I love about it. And this is the Iron Bowl, Mike. This is when people say, what's the best rivalry? Some people throw out damn Michigan, Ohio State. Get that out of here. There's only one real rivalry, and that is the Iron Bowl, man. This is where families hate each other. I mean, there's some families that don't even talk to each other because of who they like playing on Saturday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, hell, Bryan Harsin, we'll get to his comments here in just a second. Shane, he says, I was hired on December 22nd, 23rd, whatever the hell it was, and the very first question I got was about the Iron Bowl, and we were 340-something days from it. Now, obviously they didn't, Tank Bigsby, he was really heating up against South Carolina. I think that's the biggest issue. They didn't use him more. But if Auburn's going to pull off the upset, I mean, he is the perfect piece to do it. Continue that ground and pound. Give him the ball 30, 35, 40 times if you have to in this one. Just ground that clock out, take the air out of it, limit the touches for Bryce Young and this terrific Alabama offense. But on the flip side, if you go back and you're watching Mississippi State light up Auburn's secondary, you're watching South Carolina have success on them. If I'm Alabama, I understand the confidence because you got Bryce Young, you got the John Mechie, you got Williams, the receiver. I mean, they got to be licking their chops here looking at Auburn's defense. So I may have talked myself back into a blowout here. I don't
know. Well, I'll never count this game as a blowout, Mike. I mean, think about it. How many times we walk away from this thing and say, damn, I can't believe Auburn won that thing. Nick Saban knows who these guys are because if you look at the record book, the one that he's had the most tough time with is this team right here. So, I'm not counting any of that out. This fan base, this place is going to be rocking. It's going to be sold out. Hell, it's rivalry week, man. I absolutely love it, and we're going to find out real quick if it's going to be a blowout or not, Mike.
What is it about Jordan-Hare Stadium that makes it so difficult to play? And you guys have had some tough games. I think 3 of the last 4 times down there.
Yeah, well, it's they've got great passion and enthusiasm, and it's like any place you play on the road. If you don't play well, you don't execute. We've kind of been our own worst enemy. You know, when I think about the games that we've had, you know, down there, whether we turn the ball over, pick sixes on the 1 yard line, kick six. I mean, there's been a lot of things that we've contributed to that has made it difficult. So I think the big thing is being positive about how you're going to execute and stay focused and not be distracted by all the external factors or the noise surrounding the game. But when the game starts, be able to, you know, get in there and play one play at a time and do your job well. And, you know, that's the challenge. And that's what we've got to be able to do.
Do you have a favorite Iron Bowl game or memory from one of these games?
I guess my memories from last year's game when I was sitting at home watching on TV probably would be the most different memory of any. But look, there's been some crazy things happen. You know, the end of the game, the last time we played down there, we had a chance to get the ball back. They had the quarterback in the game. You know, I already mentioned the, you know, kick six. You know, I mean, we had one year we had like 5 chances to score inside the red zone, you know, in the fourth quarter and never scored a point. And they came back and tied the game and we got beat. So, you know, then we've had some really, really good, you know, games that we've played as well. You seem to remember the ones that didn't go so well the most because they hurt the most. But, you know, I mean, what we're focused on is not what's happened in the past, but, you know, what we need to do to play well in this game this week.
Coach, this is your first Iron Bowl. What's the primary message to the team this week in practice going into your first Iron Bowl?
As far as the Iron Bowl goes, you know, I told the players this too. I'm excited to coach in this game. This is one of the reasons why I wanted to be at Auburn. You know, go back before I was ever part of this program. You know, the Iron Bowl has been a game that everybody's watched. Everybody knows Auburn, Alabama are playing. If you have a chance and you can get on and watch the game, you know, if you're coaching, if it's a time that, you know, for us at Boise, we had the latest game, so you could always get a chance to watch these games. And, you know, it's one that everybody knows who's playing in it. And, you know, something that you sit there and you think how cool that is, you know, to have a chance for those guys to go out there and play in a rivalry game like this. And now to be here, you know, I told our players, I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to coach in the game. And, you know, that's one of the things about being at Auburn that you get a chance to do. As far as the message goes, the message is that we have to do things better than we did the week before. And that's been the message, you know, each and every week. And, you know, it's a matter of, you know, we can talk about it. We got to go out there and do it. And everybody that steps on that field and everybody that coaches in that game has a responsibility to this team to make sure that we're doing everything we can to the best of our ability to have ourselves ready to play. And then when we get out there and play, that we do those same things through an entire football game, through 4 quarters. And for us, you know, it still comes back to things that we can control, that we want to make sure we're a lot more effective with in the games, and we put ourselves in better positions, you know, as we go out there and prepare. So that goes back to our preparation. It goes back to, you know, in my opinion, and I think is important for our staff and players, that we have that attitude that we're trying to prove ourselves every single day. You know, and that should be the mentality of this.
Yeah, Bryan, I wanted to ask, since you've been here, what you've sort of heard just from people in the community about the Iron Bowl, and if you've gotten any best sort of pieces of advice about coaching in it.
The best advice I've got from people in the community or other folks that have been a part of it. Well, I'll say this. The first question I was asked after I did my press conference on Christmas Eve was about the Iron Bowl, which I think at that time was about 340 days away. So here we are. You know, that's one of the things that personally, you know, I look back on, and after I finished everything I had to say, that was the first question I had. So that made it very clear how important this is. Certainly, as far as our fans, people that are part of our program, Like I said, this game has been going on for a long time. This game is one that everybody in the country knows is being played. And certainly when you have your fans, your alumni, and people that have been a part of it, they're passionate about Auburn, Alabama. And so to me, that's the best part of this game, is that you have that excitement and passion surrounding it. So, you want to go out there and have yourself prepared and ready to play. You want to go out and play your best game. You want to have an opportunity to put yourself in a position to go have a chance to win. And you do that by having yourself prepared. So, all that excitement, everything building up, as the season goes, because at the end, you look at the schedule and this game is on there for sure. Everybody's aware of the Iron Bowl at that point. That's going to be played, and this is the date. And as you get closer to it, especially the week of, that becomes the complete focus. And so all the things you heard leading up to it now, that's part of this game. And at the same time, it's also, we have a team right now that we're developing and growing and trying to improve each and every day. So that still is the main message of what we're trying to accomplish, is the things that we have to do this season in order to go out there and play our best football, and to play, against a really tough team. So we're going to have to play tough. We're going to have to be disciplined. We're going to have to do things that we've shown that we're capable of on a consistent basis. And then, the rest of it, that all comes with it. And that's going to be exciting on game day to be a part of that. And then we go out there and, we get a chance to play. And hopefully that's the most exciting thing, is our opportunity to play, and that, we're trying to play the best we can.